out this year, like big time poster. Okay, I didn't know he was Australian, but I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it was like 13 guys all around.
But Josh Giddey, obviously very good.
Yeah, Josh Giddey would be the biggest one. I just put up some big ones.
Who's the big? He might be from New Zealand. Playing for yes. Is Steven Adams from New Zealand? Oh my God, what a beast!
I met his brother.
Really?
NRL game when I was in the States. He was on some plane. We get off the plane. He's sweet. He used to be a lawyer back in New Zealand as well. Yeah, he was telling me he struggled because he said,
Yeah, Jason McMahon.
he goes, well, yeah, he actually flew him over to meet him.
Jason McMahon.
And a very good evening wherever you're joining us from tonight. It is Cup final time in Northern New South Wales football. It is Maitland FC versus Weston Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Good evening from myself, Daniel Herrero. I'm joined by Blair Newham tonight for the call for this one. Blair, Cup is a great tradition, and we've got a real treat, a derby tonight too.
It is, yeah. Really looking forward to this one. Thank you for having us here this evening. It's already been a great day with the Community Cup Plate final being held before this one, with Pottsville running out winners in that game. And now we've got the El Clasico, the third version of this fixture for the year. Weston and Maitland both sharing the spoils so far with one win each. So this is a decider, if you like. Silverware on the line. What a mouth-watering encounter we've got coming up today.
Yeah, over 90 minutes, maybe a bit longer, to decide supremacy in the coalfields this evening. Of course, we are all the way in at Spears Point. And Maitland in their traditional black and white, or maybe white and black. Weston in the alternate tonight, green with the white shorts. You can see them in the huddle now. So it looks like we're just about to get kick-off in a moment. Of course, our two Australia Cup representatives meeting in this fixture. So Weston, of course, they no shame against Melbourne City. They went out in the round of 32 against A-League opposition, and big A-League opposition at that. So we're not too far away from kickoff now. It will be the Magpies that will get us underway, kicking from left to right on your screen. And here we go. Men's State Cup final is on in 2026. So feel each other out. We'll take a moment to run you through the starting 11s. And for Maitland, it's Taylor. In goals, number 5 is Luke Corcoran. Number 6 is Angus Muddle. Number 7, Daniel McFarlane. Number 8 is Lachlan Royce, as we see an early free kick. Number 11, Tay Power. Number 14, Braden Crowley. Number 18, Richard Ruish. Number 19, Regan Lundy. Number 20, Matthew Smale. And Semi Wada is in number 31 tonight. The coach is Adam Hughes. And for Weston, who are about to take the free kick, it is Joe Buck in goals tonight. Number 2, Brock Beveridge. Number 3, Mana Iwasaki. Number 4, Dominic Archbold. Number 6, Chris Hurley. Number 8, Dylan Burston. Number 11, Blake Archbold. Number 16, Luke McCormick. Number 18, Carson Wood. Number 19, Nelson King. And they are coached by Damien Zane. Black getting the last touch there for Weston. So we see that shy for Maitland and Muddle trying to cut inside. Roebuck almost doing the hokey pokey on the ball there. The left foot in, left foot out. Now he decides to toss it out. This is Hurley. Now Iwasaki. Patient build up so far from Weston. Now they're trying to find a little bit of joy down this left-hand flank. Muddle got a toe in there, wins it. Magpies win it back. Now with Lundy. Does well to retain possession there. Now officially they've set up with a 3-4-3 Maitland on the formation diagram we were given. We do see them sometimes defend in 5 and defend in 4.
Yeah, it looks like that back three so far in possession, with Semi Warrior taking up a more central position. Obviously, Kyle McSeveny cup tied for this fixture, having played earlier in the cup campaign for Weston against Qatar in the earlier rounds. And Cameron Jessup picking up a suspension against Broadmeadow on the weekend. So a different personnel-wise across the back three, but in possession definitely looks like a back three.
And this nearly broke very nicely. Weston get the defence scrambling back just in the nick of time and managed to block the shot. That's McCormick with a nice first touch and gets himself in a slight muddle there. Draws a foul though. And Ruish standing inside 10 yards there. He's allowed to get away with it as they take the free kick quickly. So just a throw in here for Weston. Now Iwasaki with a bit of space, is he able to carry it into Maitland's half momentarily. They search for a run down that right flank. It's not going to happen. It's not even out of play yet. Now it is.
Yeah, Iwasaki looking to exploit some space in behind Maitland's back three. It was in that occasion into those channels there. Obviously the three being narrow, relying very heavily on their to get back left behind right the ball and they're out of possession. Otherwise, that's where those pockets of space are going to be as Weston look to attack. Yeah,
Warra dallied on that, and he's trying to recover now. Can they get a shot away? They do. And it's a good save from Pate. And the first corner goes to Weston. That was a very nervous moment for Maitland.
Yeah, crucial save from Pate there with, I'm not sure what was going through Semi Warrior's mind. He's normally very secure on the ball, but obviously we're in a cup final. He's played in many important games in his career, but far too long there. Weston almost caught Maitland napping.
They get a chance now from the dead ball. It's flooded into traffic and nodded back out. We'll have a second go at that.
Probably forgive the viewers at home for thinking that Weston might have taken the lead there 1-0 with the goal set up behind the goals here at Spears Point and your camera angle here this evening.
They go a variation this time, and again, Maitland deal with it initially, and that was always going to be difficult to thread a shot through the traffic there. He did find a way through, but out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Warra making up for his earlier mistake on the ball there. So good in the air when balls are coming in from wide areas, and he's shown that in the past month for Maitland, and they've conceded very few goals. So Weston are going to have to show some creativity to be able to break this Maitland back line down.
Well, again, they've played themselves into pressure trying to play out Maitland. They do turn it over, and Weston try and hit them quickly on the break here, and that's a dangerous ball and just needed a touch, you fancy. It flashed across the goal area. And again, nervous moments for Maitland. I reckon it must have been Beveridge that was reaching for it, but just couldn't get the final touch.
He must have only been a toe away. What a dangerous ball in from the right-hand side. A fantastic forward run from Beveridge. But again, Maitland's play out at all costs mentality has put him in trouble twice in the early stanzas of this game.
guess that's the only upside so far. It hasn't cost them, but they're living dangerously at the moment. They're on the attack now and trying to fashion something. This is Lundy. Again, trying to cut in and gets a ball across. That shot is shut down. Muddle now will try and recycle. They look back. That's Smale on that far side of that back three. Again, Weston using the full width here now. Archbold trying to find a way down that right-hand flank. They've looked for that ball a couple of times.
Yeah, Maitland seem very patient without the ball at the moment as Weston are trying to build up, getting back into that 5-2-3 with Muddle taking up a more forward position in midfield as one of the two, and the front three of Maitland, Crowley and co just being happy at the moment to let Weston have the ball at the back and force them to try and play.
Corcoran, nice first touch. Gets going now and tries to slide one through. That's Lundy who has a go and puts it in. Great strike, and there's the opening goal of the cup final. And it's Maitland who go in front.
Yeah, we were just saying how patient Maitland were without the ball and just showing how lethal they can be when they go forward at pace. Weston appeal offside, nothing doing from the referees. A perfectly timed run in behind, and what a finish.
So it was Regan Lundy. It was a brilliant strike of the ball who opens the scoring for the Magpies. And they're, we wouldn't say their first genuine chance, but certainly their first really good chance. And they took it with aplomb. And it is Maitland FC 1, Weston Bears 0.
You can't really say that's against the run of play, but Weston with the majority of the ball in the opening stanzas and a couple of early corners and some good chances, which they'd be upset that they didn't do more with. Maitland have gone up the other end, one killer pass in behind, their first real side on goal, as you just said, and 1-0 Maitland. Here we go.
That certainly changes the dynamic with Weston chasing the game so early. I guess we wonder if it will change their approach. Maitland with the possession of the ball at the moment. This is a little bit more patient. Warra shifting it to Smale. It's Royce, the aforementioned, who's on the other end of that back three. That one is called offside.
Yeah, it would be lament for me to be not express how good Luke Cochran's touch was in the lead up to that goal that we just saw from Maitland as well. His ability to bring the ball down and play forward quickly was incredible. So a major part of Maitland going forward from the back three when you can inject and force that overload in midfield and then get players like Lundy in behind. It's going to be very hard to deal with.
Turned it over now. This is Lundy again trying to play Crowley, and this time it just didn't work out. They closed down quickly and had to. Hurley getting into a more advanced position. He's continued the run as Maitland defence try and recover here now. Iwasaki. Really trying to direct a lot of play down that right-hand wing at the moment, Weston.
Yeah, definitely going around the sides and using the flanks at the moment. We haven't seen Dill Burston get on the ball much at all at the moment in that 6 role, being bypassed consistently as we see Archbold come in and get on the ball.
Yeah, combining with McCormick, who tried to continue the run. Now it's back with Blank. And King. Iwasaki. They go a bit more vertical this time. Muddle, referee was fine with that. Out to Corcoran now. He's got some room to move here and tries to play Crowley in quickly, but it was well read by Is Lundy.
Yeah, you see Corcoran again. As soon as he gets the ball, instructions must be go forward. Doing so very well at the moment and bringing the Maitland front three into play immediately. So we saw Muddle bounce out of tight spaces, which he does very well every single week in the middle of the park there. Gets on the ball, gets off the ball. It's into Corcoran. They're going forward. They look dangerous.
Knocking it around here well at the moment. Although Burston just skies that one somewhat. Archbold able to bring it under control. It's a bit of a battle over on that far side of the ground, and Magpies come up with it again. Warra. Royce. Come inside. Crowley dropping in to make the link, and then Muddle. Now back with Crowley via Ruish. Some good movement. This is Corcoran trying to get at him, and just a slightly heavy touch as he tried to beat another defender. And now Weston will try and break on the counter-attack here. Pate has come out a long way, and just as well for him. The shot has gone wrong side of the post.
Looked for all money there, Weston. Pate came out. He obviously knows what he's doing. Got his lines exactly right. One would say good goalkeeping. Shut down the angle well. Very close to being 1-1 there. Weston probably kicking themselves. It's not.
It was Beveridge who was, his eyes would have lit up, but Pate, put him under enough pressure to force that wide. Again, that's the third scare that Maitland have had now. They could very easily have been picking the ball out of their own net. Weston going with the much higher presses. Maitland, though, somewhat play through it. Hurley, though, gets a toe in and wins it back now for the men who are in green tonight.
Yeah, it's strange seeing Dylan Burston on the ball in the middle there in midfield. We more associate Jackson Burston in wearing green each week. He's older and one would say better looking brother, but all credits to Dill. He looks quite good in green out there today.
There he is, Burston. Full switch over to Dom Archbold. Now Hurley finding a way through. He's not afraid to get in a more advanced position, the centre half. And again, Beveridge this time. Oh, denied. Oh, and another good chance for Beveridge at Maitland. Get away with it again and recover. And now they will try and counter. And skied at the back stick. Oh, that was so close to being 2-0, and maybe it should have been.
Well, end-to-end football, we're both scratching our heads trying to figure out how Maitland have got away with not conceding at their own end. 3 passes later, the ball's gone to the Maitland attacking third, and a gilt-edge chance at the far stick there, and now Maitland asking the question, well, how they're not 2-0 up in this game.
Amazing. Certainly not a cagey type of final that we're sometimes used to seeing in a cup fixture. Although here a Weston on the attack again and again. Ball gets through the goal area.
Yeah, I believe that may have been Dom Archbold pressing forward from Weston there in an advanced space on the right-hand side. Another good ball in. Maitland hanging on at the moment by the skin of their teeth. This new personnel back three that we've haven't seen for a few weeks with Maitland being forced in the changes for tonight. They are living very vicariously at the back at the moment.
Back to Pate now, who opts to get rid of it quickly. Weston. Tangle of bodies there. Archbold. Almost like a golf swing. The way he tried to take that shot. And we will have a break in play now. With a couple on the deck.
A slightly different tact from Weston there, finally going through the middle of the park rather than outside on the flanks, and Dylan Burston looking good on the ball going forward, looking to create something a bit more centrally, but going down the flanks has worked for them at the moment. They're asking plenty of questions of this Maitland defence, probing balls into dangerous areas. Probably upset at the moment not to have at least drawn level or challenged the Maitland goalkeeper a fraction more frequently.
Muddle, who rides one challenge. And free kick and yellow card. That'll be the first booking of the final here. Coming early as it does too.
Yeah, you've alluded to it a couple of times already. Maitland play out at all costs and try and keep the ball and play through the thirds. Muddle just about dealing with the ball in tight spaces, a ball into a dangerous area, a 50-50 challenge, and now Weston are on the attack again. No love lost in some of these early tackles in the Coalfields derby.
Just the way we like it. A three-man wall. And the wall does its job. Now Blank. Blank's been played in edge of the area. Couldn't wrap his foot around that one. It has stayed in play though. Can't reel it in. Hurley. Blank. McCormick to take them on and looks to get the shot away himself. Warra with the clearance. And was Crowley held back there? He was. And that'll be just a free kick. I thought the referee was about to reach for his pocket. And Mana Iwasaki might consider himself lucky there that he didn't go in the notebook.
Yeah, it's experienced play from Mana there, making sure that that attack was delayed. Crowley does like to drop into those pockets, hold the ball up and release his wingers outside of him. So some experience from the centre-back there from Weston, delaying the play. And, yeah, one would say lucky potentially not to get away with a yellow ticket.
Going to give away a free kick. The best place is probably in the opposition half. Bundy just caught that awkwardly in his own area. Get away with that. Try and shift it now again, using all the width of pitch one here at Lake Macquarie. Go coast to coast. McCormick likes to cut inside and then knock it all the way outside where Wood is waiting out there. And that is good defence. Intelligence.
Yeah, Maitland's seemingly happy to leave their midfielders 1v1 with the Western attackers in those wide areas, and why not so far? Both players doing exceptionally well to nullify the attacks in those exact 1v1 areas.
And again, Warren Pate, they put themselves under pressure. Burston was able to collect for Weston. McCormick trying to drive his way into the box. Iwasaki. It's Weston try and launch another attack here. Out to Archbold. And Muddle. And Maitland. To assess his options. Corcoran is the outlet. And they try and play Lundy in behind. That's a good ball. And Hurley gets in the way of the cross. And McCormick continues to prove to be a very open final.
Yeah, both teams really happy to attack at the moment. Game's been played in transition a lot. Maitland, the more likely to string 5 or 6 passes together. Weston get the ball and look to go forward early. Plenty of exciting moments for the viewers at home currently.
Not sure how either coach would be faring, seeing the way this is going on. And again, Weston win it back in a dangerous position, and that one flashes across the bar.
Yeah, both coaches obviously very experienced campaigners, and Adam Hughes very intent to play out from the back. It's a staple of his style over the past few years, and Maitland sticking to that plan, and Damien Zane looking to exploit that by pressing high with Weston, much higher than what Maitland are at the moment. So it's a real battle of wits on the sideline there to see which one of these tactics plays off.
It's Corcoran to McFarlane, who is walking the yellow card tightrope. That's a very nice ball. Releasing Archbold. Ruiz has continued the run. It's got me a bit more direct, though. It's Wood, edge of the area, and the defender loses his footing, but quickly gets it back. That would have been Smale, who needed to recover quickly.
That's a couple of slips now in that corner. That maybe the Spears Point dew starting to set in on what will turn into quite a chilly evening down here at Spears Point.
And we are on the artificial pitch. On move from pitch 3. We have had some weather in the last 24 hours, so hoping for the best possible spectacle and a pitch that will play true rather than get bogged down. And it will be something for the players to adjust to. It's Burston trying to turn out. Again, that mantra of playing out. Leaving a little dangerously. Maitland. Weston probing for a way through here. Blank. Left back combining with Blake Archbold. Now McCormick. Early. Now they've found a way into the area again. And it's a bit of a nothing cross in the end, under pressure.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Weston. It was probably their best spell with the ball so far, as we see him back on the ball again in the Maitland half.
This is Blank. Now Blake Archbold. Burston back to Hurley. Hurley playing more as a winger there. He's been felled, and we will play advantage for that one. Iwasaki. That's it, Dom Archbold. Wara is able to take that down and get rid.
Maitland unable to get the ball back at the moment. Weston have had the ball what seemingly feels like 3 or 4 minutes now. Just as we say that, the pressure's released and Maitland get to play out again.
Corcoran. Crowley. One back, and Weston will try and break here. It's Wood, there's a tangle of legs there. No foul, says the referee. Crowley getting deep, linking with Muddle. Out with Corcoran. Crowley's continued the run here. He's got 2 options central. It goes past both of them.
He does that so well, Braden Crowley. Pulls back into pockets, gets on the ball, releases it backwards, and then makes a steaming forward run, unsighted quite frequently, in behind the Western back four in that occasion. And it was that intelligent. I think the Maitland teammates struggled to figure it out themselves. An open box could have been a forward run, could have been yet another scoring chance.
So if you are just joining us, it's a Regan Lundy goal in the 9th minute that separates these two teams in the Men's State Cup final. And it was that man there, Luke Corcoran, who provided a beautiful assist for it. McFarlane goes down and free kick is given.
Yeah, Luke Corcoran's been close to the best player on ground so far with the amount of involvement that he's had. Try not to put the commentator's curse on that young man, but the way that Maitland are playing so far is really suiting Luke's abilities, and Corcoran's been able to get on the ball, look forward, link with Lundy, link with Crowley, and they have looked dangerous down this right-hand side, Maitland, as a result.
Hurley to blank. Tries to play a more direct ball. I'm just trying to see who he was trying to feed there, if it was Archbold or Beveridge. Either way, it didn't come off. So Smale now for the Magpies.
Yeah, it looked like potentially Blake Archbold making that forward run from his natural 10 position as a midfielder, just to try and get an extra man forward for Weston, I think, as another attacking option.
Iwasaki and Hurley just passing it around at the moment. Now out to Dom Archbold. Blake Archbold. It's a good flick over the top. I'll try and release one there, but it was just behind the advancing run of Beveridge, and Warra was able to just stab it out of the danger zone. Back in danger, though. Maitland. And Pates throws a glove at it and reels it in.
Yeah, clever play from Weston there. Archbold to Archbold. Build in the backyards of Weston. See the brothers combine and look to link forward, and Weston with yet another chance. Probably should have done a little bit more in that occasion, to be fair. But in the end, a comfortable catch for the Maitland goalkeeper.
Burst in again, and Dom Archbold. Wood. Archbold has continued the run, and I think he wasn't expecting it and just had to prop again. Wood wins it back, tries to play in Archbold. There is cover in defence at the expense of a corner, though.
Yeah, but mistaken for thinking that Dom Archbold was a winger in this Western team. He would have one of the biggest engines and work rates arguably in this entire National Premier Leagues here in northern New South Wales, really looking to exploit that in a State Cup final, having the nerve control and the energy to get that far forward and produce that work rate is outstanding.
This one goes short-ish. Hurley will get a second chance here, and Pate has to reach for it, and it was one of those awkward ones that bounced in front of the keeper, but plenty of black and white shirts down there to help him out.
Yeah, I think he scuffed his second attempt at a cross there, Hurls, to be completely honest, and catching Pate almost unaware at the near stick with that ball really starting to skid on down that end of the park so far with the Jew.
Blank decides to take him on momentarily.
This is better from Weston now, moving the ball forward with purpose and at pace.
Yeah, they are making some space here. McCormick run at the defence and unleash a shot of his own, and it dipped and had Pate a little worried, and he just had to push it away from goal, and another corner for the Bears.
Yeah, that's far more like the Western we're used to seeing, moving the ball with far much more tempo and purpose, and really starting to challenge this Maitland goal now.
What's this, about the 5th or 6th corner? I think it's the first from this near side.
Yeah, 4 from the opposite side, 1 from here.
It's a floating corner. It's, I think, King that's trying to make something of it now. Battle continues out near that far corner. On Hurley, just dinked one in, and Pate plucks it out of the air, and just as well.
Yeah, it feels like seemingly now that Weston may have had 9 or 10 opportunities to get really decent balls into the box. Execution missing at the moment in the front third. They're known for being so critical and so crucial in those areas. We're yet to see those balls come off so far.
This is Royce. The passing lane closed down and was forced to go aerial. They did get a throw-in out of it, though. Corcoran inside to McFarlane. He looks back to Royce. Across to Wara and then Smale. McFarlane had to move quickly.
Yeah, just wrong-footed a little bit with that pass, McFarlane, and took the safety first option, trying to play in behind.
Corcoran nods it down. And Muddle and Smale. Wara. Royce. McFarlane, they're able to play through the press, and Crowley's able to receive here. He's got a couple in front of him. Western defence trying to close him down, but they're able to shift. And then dink it across the area where Corcoran was waiting. Lovely work again, lovely touch. Muddle. Maitland try and refire this attack. They're going to have to go back and reset now with Wara. Lundy. Just the first touch was lacking, but Royce is on it now and tries to float one into the area. Enough green jerseys back to deal with it.
Yeah, they've defended really well there, Weston. They were under sustained pressure. Maitland moving the ball very well on that occasion. Weston managing to do just about enough and clearing the ball, but they'll be under sustained pressure again here from Maitland as they look to build, look to create, and to continue to pile the pressure on this Western defence as we head with about 10 minutes towards half-time, still Maitland leading 1-0.
Don't know if that was Blank's intention, but it got out to McCormick, and now the Bears will get the throw. I posed the question when Maitland scored if how that would change the dynamic of the game. I put it to you, Blair. I don't know if it's changed at all.
No, both teams very disciplined in how they play. That's why they're at the pointy end of the NPL ladder. Both teams with a strong, firm belief and characteristic in their coaching staff and playing abilities and player personnel, and just looking to see if their way of doing things can be the upper hand in this match. Maitland's still very happy to play out under pressure after almost conceding 3 or 4 opportunities early. Weston now look to play more through the centre of the park rather than on the flanks. Plenty of chances for both teams. I smell much more goals, much more attacking football in this game.
Indeed. Remarked a couple of times, a very open final so far. That's Lundy stabbing it to Ruiz, and Corcoran moving into that right wing position. That is not a bad ball. They will force man to retreat there, but they keep the attack alive. Muddle now. McFarlane out wide.
Yeah, I feel if that ball forward on that counter-attack had been with a bit more precision, as we still see Maitland in an attacking opportunity, had just a little bit more polish on it. Hurley had been lost in midfield. Maitland had the opportunity to go through and exploit the space that Hurley had left on that opportunity there. Royce
tries to float one over the top, and that has drawn Roebuck out of his goals to make sure that Crowley didn't get there first.
Yeah, that's really good goalkeeping. Obviously very aware of the dangers that Braden Crowley poses in those areas. So Roebuck's done exceptionally well to come and collect that one.
So it's Maitland trying to execute the high press. And they do win it back in the middle of the park. Oh, that's just made its way to Muddle. I thought that was about to be another dangerous turnover for Maitland.
Yeah, Angus Muddle showing composure and experience well beyond his years. Been mistaken for thinking that he was a 30-year-old that had been doing this for a very long time. Not just yet 20, Angus Muddle, and dealing with the pressure of playing out under sustained pressure very well.
That one unable to be kept in place. So Weston have the shy on that far side here at pitch 1 at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. So we're entering the closing stage of these stages of this first half. We'll see if it is indeed possible if Weston try and pick up the tempo and try and chase an equaliser before the break. Tempo has been pretty high already. Try and float one all the way over to McCormick. It's blank out there actually. That's McCormick, who tries to take on the defence. King. And Blake Archbold managed to get it out wide, and then Beveridge, and stopped. And a really good stop by Pate. Great reflex save and keeps Maitland unbreached, but Weston coming at them again. That one floats wide of the target. And a chance for the Magpies to catch their breath.
Yeah, they need one after that stanza of play. Weston really starting to ask the question now. You made the comment earlier, will they lift the tempo and go for an equaliser before half-time? We got that answer very quickly. A really good attacking flurry of play there into the Maitland area, and Taylor Pate had to be at his best. He was, keeps his sheet clean. Maitland survived yet another Western scare.
Again with Blake Archbold. Now McCormick. He's been willing to take on the defence. He just unable to get a clean shot away again. King and Ruish, two of the more hirsute characters on the pitch in battle there. Now Wara floats one out in the direction of Corcoran. Lundy. Weston quite pleased with themselves there to force the error.
Yeah, they probably feel like they're on top at the moment, really pushing for a goal here before half-time.
King dinks it to blank. McCormick, again cutting inside, beating a second. And McCormick from a way out, drags it wide.
Yeah, probably just a fraction of frustration from McCormick there, you feel. He's really come alive in the last 10 minutes for Weston, and they've started to look far more dangerous as a result, as I believe McCormick might go into the book for his troubles there and questioning the referee, appealing for a corner. Nothing doing. McCormick finds himself in the referee's notebook.
And that's one each now. It was Daniel McFarlane booked for a foul earlier, and McCormick there seemingly for dissent. It's a long way to go. Potentially another 78.5 minutes, depending on where we sit at the end of the 90. Royce, Wara, Pate is a long way out. These goals. Lundy wins it back in an advanced position for Maitland. Corcoran, Muddle. Look to shift it. It's just broken down there now, but might have been won back by Ruiz. She has to use Wara as the outlet. Rolls it to Smale. Again, they turn it over while they're somewhat trying to play out, and Pate has to rush the clearance now.
Maitland seemingly just about getting away with playing out under pressure.
That's a nice ball though. Lundy, Corcoran edge of the area. He's got 3 or 4 to aim at. Weston get away with that and they'll try and counter, but the ball is errant.
Yeah, it's risk and reward stuff at the moment from Maitland. Just at the moment when you feel like they're going to lose the ball or turn it over under sustained pressure, they just seem to find a way and the ball ends up with Weston having to chase and defend their backline.
They've had a couple of moments there now where they've had a chance to cross and they've had several players waiting in the area and the delivery just hasn't come off for them. And if one does, they could hurt Weston again.
I feel like that's the missing piece in their puzzle at the moment, their delivery from those wide areas. They seem to get into them frequently. Seen a couple of opportunities, the one earlier with Crowley getting into that wide area and playing a great ball across and no forward runners, and another one just there that we saw in the lead up to half-time. Maitland will probably be upset with themselves. They're not converting some of those half chances to goal-scoring opportunities.
This is Lundy stepping through a few and then wrong footing Corcoran, but Royce is there. And McFarlane chips one into the edge of the area. Burston, McCormick does well to keep it in, but Royce has pinched it off him only momentarily. McCormick going again and then beating another. A little bit of space here now. McCormick dinks one in and Beveridge is waiting for it. And I thought the flag might have gone up there, but then it stayed down and we have a corner now. And a pretty big collision in the area too.
Yeah, I feel like Beveridge, the inside player closest to goal there, may have been in that offside position, did very well to leave it. Wood coming in at the far stick. What an important challenge that is for Maitland there to keep this score locked as we go to about 30 seconds of normal time left in this first half of the Cup final. But it was that man again, McCormick, from the left-hand side. It just looks to create, looks dangerous when he has the ball running forwards at pace. Torquay Harbour Football Club apart a few weeks ago on the left-hand side. He is just so dangerous with the ball.
Yet another corner for Weston, and Pate got a hand on it, hasn't completely dealt with it. It will be a corner. It wasn't the most authoritative of clearances from the keeper.
Feels like there's potentially been about 10 corners in this half, and I reckon we'd be pretty close to saying about 9 of them would have been Western opportunities. So let's see if they can make the most of one of these.
Does Hurley go with some variation here, or does he go much the same? It's much the same as before, and Pate still not cleanly, but better this time. He's able to gather it up, snuff out that opportunity. Gets the 8 count. Corcoran. Given some space this time. Stabs it out for Lundy to go chase. What's the delivery going to be like this time? Lundy gets in a bit closer. Oh, off the bar! Oh, Crowley got the head on it. It was a better delivery this time and a couple of inches lower, and that might have been in. Lundy at the second attempt. That one floats past the face of goal. Can the Magpies recycle here? Maybe. And go back and try and reset the attack. Again, they float one into the area. Ruiz with the header. Oh, how's the save from Roebuck? Wow. Somehow it's still only 1-0.
somehow. I think Roebuck has slipped, to be fair to him, just before as that ball's coming over. He's had to readjust himself to the flight of the ball. And what ability to get back up and make the save quickly. And I think that he's got a touch on the Crowley header about 30 seconds earlier as well onto the post. So what a 2 minutes of play for that man in between the Weston sticks, Roebuck.
The corner comes in. It's headed out. Muddle chasing. Delivered back in to the mix. And that will be that. Referee blows an end to the first half. And a really frantic first half indeed. So the score going into the break in the Northern New South Wales Men's State Cup final, it's Maitland FC 1, Weston Bears 0. We're just about to get underway for the second half. It's the Northern New South Wales Men's State Cup final, and it is Maitland FC one to the good over the Western Bears as we welcome you back. Daniel Herrero and Blair Newham with you for this one. 45 minutes for Weston to find an equaliser, and for Maitland to try and press home their advantage. Blair Newham, your thoughts? What do Weston need to do?
Well, we saw them, especially towards the end of that first half, start to ask the questions of Maitland. They got the ball in the wide area as well, delivering the ball in quite well and just not coming up with that final product. Obviously, very interesting to see Damien Zane's take on it and how long he lets this game unfold before he brings the likes of a Chris Hatfield or Max Weddig into the fray. For Maitland, I think Adam Hughes would probably be pretty happy. A couple of nervy moments with them playing out. But that is the Adam Hughes methodology, coming out from the back, keeping the ball well, which for the majority of time, to be fair, they have done so very well.
So it looks like they are as they ended the opening stanza. It's Wood with the back heel to Dom Archbold. Wasn't a bad cross either. King shifts it all the way back to Lundy. Lundy again, he does like to get high. He's continued the run into the left wing position, the centre half. Crowley, only one up top. We are playing advantage here now. No, we are going to come back. There's a scuffle that's actually ensued here. About half a dozen involved in that. Don't think there's too much in it, but just a little bit of tension that everyone's trying to work out.
Yeah, a little bit of spice in the El Clasico. As we said, both these teams know love for each other over the past however many years. Weston would say since their existence, they go for two teams, Weston and anyone that does play against Maitland. So we expect to see a few fireworks. The officials have done a very good job so far keeping a lid on that. And we were just touching on before that, Chris Hurley just bombing forward from left-sided centre half. Quite often becoming a midfielder. Weston trying to create an overload somehow. Maybe that's an instruction now for Hurley to inject into midfield. Burston can hold, and then lets players like Blake Archibald play with a bit more attacking freedom.
We are back underway now. Royce shifting it to his opposite defender in Smale. 3 across the back, at least for Maitland in attack. McFarlane, Wara. Again, they're just wanting to play out, and they're happy to take, I guess, what they consider to be a calculated risk. I've nearly been hurt in a couple of times, but it's working out for them okay. And stout in defence. Ziwasaki. Smale closed down quickly there, though. McFarlane gets it back. Wara. Pate just goes short. I thought he was about to sell Royce into a really dangerous moment. They have turned it over now, though, so Weston on the attack again here now. And their delivery, once again, has evaded everyone. It's behind the key men there. Again, Maitland will try and carry it out. Wara. Pate. It's worked out okay for them this time. Crowley. Nice ball there. Few to aim at in the middle. Crowley. Still Crowley and drags it. And it got a touch on the way through. He had Roebuck sat down and was trying to scramble back to his feet. And Weston just did enough to keep it out.
Just about doing enough there, Weston, to ensure that this game stays within reach. The game's gone from end to end. It looks to me like Weston have come back out in the second half with a sustained change in attitude identifying an early pressing trigger and going after Maitland, trying to win that ball higher up the park. But as you saw just there, leaving him exposed along the midfield and the back, and Maitland creating yet another chance.
Corner goes in low. It'll be a second chance here. This time it's floated a bit deeper. I think it was Corcoran waiting in behind. There was half a shout for a handball. Muddle throws a foot at it, but to no avail. And now the break is on here for Weston. If they can shift it out wide, it's McCormick, who's on the right-hand side this time. Tries to swing one in deep in the area. It's a little bit too much for Beveridge to chase down.
As this game goes on, Weston are going to have chances on the counter. We know that. I think it's important for them that they don't get frustrated in those spots there. Trying to play a forward pass there, seemingly to nobody. The ball rolling out. They continue to play with that type of frustration. This game may start to get away from them. So we know they've got the quality to do so. Just need to recompose themselves and start to manufacture opportunities.
Proudly working to bring it down. Ruiz. Hurley is composed in defence there. With that very comfortably indeed. That was not so comfortable. Just have to scramble it clear. King with the back heel. Dom Archbold. Hurley. Magpies just trying to play their way out again. It's something they've necessarily had complete success with, but they're committed to the philosophy, and they are one up, so they've got something going for them at the moment. Very compact in defence at the moment as well. Weston trying to find a little opening. Hurley skies one. Lundy, he just might have lost track of where the touchline was.
Yeah, lost his bearings a little bit there. Very unlike Lundy, but we'll give him one a game, I suppose.
King.
Clever ball.
Yeah, shifts it to blank. Chip one deep. Dom Archbold chips it back towards the back stick, but there's no one on the end of it. And there might be. Royce was comfortable enough, though. Crowley, Ruiz. Nice little one-touch moment, and then he will come back because it struck the referee.
Yeah, good combination play in the middle of the park there from Maitland, but unfortunately you can't combine with the referee, so that one will come back. Yet another ball from Weston into a dangerous area. Is that an area where a Chris Hatfield may be if he was to be brought into the fray, where he could potentially capitalise on a couple of those chances? It's a fantastic ball in from Dom Archibald, but yet again for Weston, frustratingly for their fans, nobody on the end of it to create a goal-scoring opportunity.
Do have some attacking options on the bench, Weston. We haven't seen them injected yet, so Damien Zane patient for now. And that is nice composure from Iwasaki. Had to be good there. He had Crowley right behind him. And McFarlane. Royce. Tries to put one in behind, and that was nearly a second. I think it was Ruiz. He just was reaching for it. He might have got a touch, but just not a firm enough touch, and Roebuck was able to get his body in the way of it.
Yeah, Roebuck's been massive already for Weston on a couple of occasions.
Here they come again. Blocked, and then, oh, Beveridge wide at the second attempt. In fact, might have been, I think it's actually Archbold following it in.
Yeah, Blake Archbold.
Blake Archbold, yeah.
That's better from Weston. Some more like the Western Bears that we know and we've seen in the past few weeks of the NPL competition, and right up until the round of 32 in the Hahn Australia Cup, they just can go forward with such intent so quickly. Great opportunity there, and Blake Archibald would like his time again at the far stick.
This is Dom Archbold. Early. Was Archbold turning around for Blank, who left it in the end.
Maitland seemingly taking a leaf out of Weston's book there and deciding to press anything as soon as one of their fullbacks faces backwards with the ball. And that ambition and endeavour from Crowley, earning his team back the ball just about on halfway with the throw-in and another chance to keep the ball and frustrate this Western team even further.
Dwara going the chip. Now Wood. McFarlane back to Smale. Warrow to Royce. Walker and now Ruish. This is better play from Maitland, and is there a finish on it? No, again, it's just pushed wide. Oh dear. A gilt-edged chance goes begging for the Magpies.
Well, we heard the call, and you probably heard it at home from Adam Hughes there. Good football, well done. That was brilliant from Maitland. End to end, passing through thirds, under sustained pressure, playing through into players in space, moving the ball into pockets. Phenomenal play end to end, and they'll be kicking themselves that the score's not 2-0.
This is a chance. Blocked. Back with Smale. Decides to push it forward with a bit more urgency. And that one's blocked, and it'll be another corner. Maitland just starting to turn the screws now.
Yeah, absolutely. They've by far looked a better team in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Angus Muddle getting in a pocket of space a little bit further forward than we've seen him so far in this game. Another creative run from Braden Crowley going to the near stick. And this time it was important defending from Weston that keeps the score at 1-0 to Maitland.
Muddle from deep, forces another great save from Roebuck.
Yeah, Roebuck, wow, he would have been unsighted until late there. Angus Muddle has hit that superbly well. That's going into the cobwebs in the top corner. And Gerard Roebuck, wow, 5 top-class saves so far this evening.
And I don't think Muddle could have hit that much better either. It's a really sweet strike. That one goes in short, and Hurley gets to it first. Muddle again. This time he decides to push it out wide. Yeah, the cross comes in and is batted away by Roebuck initially, and the follow-up is just wide.
Well, Weston really struggling to clear their lines at the moment, struggling with this Maitland pressure. Just feel that something's got to give at some stage. A really important period of the game now for Weston. They must hang on if they have any chance of getting something out of this cup final.
Just about to notch up the 1 hour mark, and the first quarter of an hour of this half has flown by. Iwasaki gets put under a bit of pressure and turns it over under pressure. Royce. Oh, and they give it up again. And now Weston flood forward. Wara crossing cover, and it's a corner.
Playing with fire yet again, Maitland. Trying to play out. Weston much better in this second half at reading cues and releasing pressing triggers and almost getting something out of that.
Corner goes in deep. Haven't cleared their lines yet. I think it was Wara that threw a foot at that one. Eventually it all ends in a Maitland throw.
Yeah, Dylan Burston doing well to recover from a mistake there. The second attempt. Ensuring that Maitland couldn't counter-attack quickly.
And again, they almost turned over. They're going to get away with it. Maybe. Play themselves back into trouble. No, Wood is just a little bit too keen there to win back possession and concedes the foul.
Maitland again continuing to flirt with danger and yet again just about getting away with it. I mean, they're 1-0 up in the cup final, so who am I to criticise? But they just seem to be taking those little bit of extra calculated errors, calculated risks to try and play through this Western press.
Ruish nods it on. Iwasaki is trying to shepherd that one over the touchline and does so. Now it's McFarlane. Tries to prod one in. It was Muddle who was trying to fashion a way through the sea of legs and couldn't. Now Royce drifted over to the left-hand side. Ruish, power. Nice from Maitland. Working it all the way back and then side to side and prodded in behind, and Roebuck won the foot race to the football. A couple of moments like that, both keepers have had to be alert for those balls in behind. Play on is the call here. McCormick. Loves cutting inside. King. Thought he might have had a go himself. Wood tries to turn provider, and Maitland managed to clear their lines. Only momentarily, though. Here come the Bears again. Here come the Magpies now. Always going to be difficult for Power to reach, and I reckon Weston just done enough to frustrate that attack. Get a chance of their own here from the throw. Burston. Wood. First two, one gone down. Referee says nothing doing. Reckon that was fair. Dom Archbold takes a moment to assess his options. Still probing for an opening here. Blank, wide left. Dom Archbold. Now Wood. Weston corner.
Slight shift in momentum change here. You can just feel it as this game edges on now past the 65-minute mark. When Weston have the ball in the Maitland half, you can see Maitland getting back into that 5-4-1 shape now. 4 midfielders happy to leave Crowley up top by himself and just defend, defend, defend.
The corner comes in again. It's Pate that gets a hand on it. Someone's nodded away at the near post, and flashing at that one was Dom Archbold. Couldn't keep it down.
Well, I've seen him score from there, Dom Archbold, in very similar circumstances. Dom playing a lot of his youth football on this ground as his home ground for the Newcastle Jets through the academy. He does score the odd goal from there, Dom, so I wouldn't put it past him to try that one again, but not quite getting hold of that one on that occasion.
Warrow chips one ahead, only as far as Hurley. King. It's Dom Archbold again. Back to King. Crowley. Good first. Defence comes across just in the nick of time, and foul is conceded. McFarlane now. Mundy, was he dragged back? He was. And it is just going to be a free kick once again. I thought the referee was reaching for his pocket, but not so.
Yeah, he's done well so far to keep a lid on this, the referee. Haven't had to speak about him too much, which generally is a good thing when you consider referees. And I think I can see a little bit of movement from the Western camp down on the benches underneath where the camera is positioned here. Morris up and speaking to fourth officials, potentially preparing a Western change as they look to do something to try and shift the momentum in this match.
Hurley out to blank and then back with Hurley. Maitland trying to close him down a bit higher up the park at the moment. Crowley. McFarlane does get a shot away, and the only route was straight at Roebuck.
Done very well to deal with that at Roebuck as well. You can see how quickly that ball skimmed off that dewy surface down there at the eastern end, I suppose you could call it, at Spears Point, as the fog comes across Spears Point Creek from Bullaroo Bowling Club.
Yeah, of course, just near the shores of Lake Macquarie. Now, Beveridge tries to chip one at goal. Wasn't his best effort. Now we are going to have a change.
Looks to be to me like that might be Brock Beveridge's last involvement in this game. Shot out of anger more than anything.
Yeah, so Beveridge's shift is done with 20 minutes of regular time to go. Max Wettig has been injected into this one.
Yeah, really exciting youngster and a player for the future for Weston. Recently out of academy level football. He's had a very successful last couple of weeks for the Western Bears, scoring against Bell Swans and also scoring against Lambton Jaffers recently as well. He's a very exciting player, absolutely rapid if he's got the ball going forward at pace. So watch this space with intent if Max Wettig is on the ball facing forward.
Taking on some tired legs. He's going to get his first touches right now. No chance to exploit that pace yet. That was living dangerously. Crowley bearing down, trying to cut out the pass. Dom Archbold, slightly heavy touch as he brought it down. Gives the defence a chance to get back, but weight of numbers favours Weston, and that wasn't the worst ball in. It had Pate scrambling, and now we've got, I think, a free kick. Certainly got a stoppage in play.
Yeah, I dare say a free kick to Maitland here. The old adage of the goalkeeper being a protective species in those 50-50 opportunities and challenges in the box. Both players more than entitled to go for that ball. Yeah, play will restart with a free kick for Taylor Pate.
And long it goes as Ruish tries to help it on its way, but to no avail. Archbold, Wettig, close him down quickly. Corcoran is well ushered to the touchline, and now again the boys are just having a few words with each other. I don't think there's too much in it.
Yeah, not too much in it, but temper's definitely starting to flare here, especially from the Western side. Maitland will be happy with that. The more this game goes on, the more frustrated Western become. They're doing well to nullify Western opportunities at the moment. Definitely look like the more comfortable of the two teams, and Western need to be really careful here not to get too overexcited and force the referee into making a decision he probably doesn't want to make.
Well, we got, just over a quarter of an hour of regular time to go. When does Weston have to pull the trigger to try and find that equaliser?
Damien Zane, obviously a very experienced coach at a multitude of different levels, and they've made the one change with Max Wettig now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was too far away. We saw Chris Hatfield and Matt Butner into the game, and a slight formation change, if you like, to try and just apply something different as far as pressure goes to Maitland. We see them on the attack yet again. Hurling over and dealing with that one just about okay.
Yeah, it was Lundy who was trying to hold that one up on that occasion as Crowley dropped in deep again.
Yeah, but to answer your question in a roundabout way, I'm guessing very shortly. No point leaving anything to chance in a cup final. May as well throw the kitchen sink at it for me.
Pate slices that one up the park. Smale sends it on its way. Ruish might have won that back here, and then the delivery wasn't the best. Now it's Weston trying to play out under pressure. Smale has come up with it in advanced position. He was dispossessed pretty quickly. King. Good ball and all challenge, but it's still broken favourably for the Bears. Dom Archbold tries to swing one across. McFarlane trying to restore order for Maitland. And Muddle. Royce chips it ahead. King, middle of the park. It's it back for Weston. probing for an opening of the Bears. Now it's Maitland again, and Hurley got in the way of the passing lane. King just starting to look a little bit more stretched at the moment, as is to be expected at this stage of the game and in this scenario. That one is adjudged a foul. I think Ruish is going to try and press the case that he was just holding his ground, but call's already been made.
Yeah, smart play from McCormick coming inside again as Weston looked to play quickly.
Blank. That's one back stick, and that's not a bad first time strike.
Yeah, easy enough in the end for Taylor Pate to deal with. Yet another let-off for the Maitland backline. Another half chance for Weston. They're just failing to really create anything of any sort of substance at the moment.
Early. Archbold is calling for it. Wide right. It's gone more vertical instead. And a clash of bodies, and the free kick goes the way of Maitland.
Yeah, a couple of fans on that sideline over there not happy with that. There's probably no guessing which team they're supporting here this evening. Good to see some people have come out tonight on a very cold night at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Weston looking to go direct, playing a little bit differently now in the last 10 minutes just to try and ask some type of different question, as we see Adam Hughes potentially going to the bench for the first time in this fixture.
Looks like it. All right, so back underway now. 12 and a half plus change to go. And still Weston looking for that equaliser. Warra was out. Want to be careful there. Dom Archbold. McCormack on his right. And that's where it goes. And can't beat the Maitland defence with that delivery, but they will get a corner. Again, the corner is not particularly productive. Archbold try and help him recycle. That's not the best ball in.
So Dom Archbold looks like he's going over to the left-hand side of the field. Ashton Blank potentially going off over that side. Dom to the left. We now see Chris Hatfield coming on and heading into a more forward position on the right-hand side, and also the introduction of Matt Butner in his trademark right fullback side. Look for him to be overlapping, combining with Hatfield, trying to get Weddig in behind. Weston have rolled the dice now with 10 minutes left to play.
Yeah, well, it stands to reason. Some clearly attack-oriented substitutions. It's Maitland that are on the attack at the moment. See the fog coming in as well here at Spears Point. And another corner for Weston. Again, it goes short and it's cleared by the Magpies. Floated back in by Dylan Burston. Again, nothing doing. Luckily for Weston, Maitland didn't have too many waiting up top. They couldn't have really afford to. McFarlane. Final 10 minutes of this one, potentially. It's a nice turn, but then the pass lets them down. Flicks and tricks now. No foul there, so here come the Bears again with Wood. Oh, that's a really good ball. Hatfield with a bit of space here and had Pate scrambling. I think it might have actually been another Magpie that got the final touch before Pate had to throw a big hand at it.
Yeah, for me, that's a tackle. What a great covering challenge there from the Maitland player. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to see with the fog rolling in here at Spears Point from our vantage point, but I think that's an exceptional covering tackle that's kept Maitland ahead in this fixture.
And that's going to be the second yellow card that Weston will pick up.
Yeah, once again, sorry to our viewers at home. Difficult to see which player that may have been. It's gone into the referee's book, and apologies for anyone who may have heard any language there from the sideline below us. Some very enthusiastic staff below trying to get Weston to press high. So they're not leaving anything up to chance at the moment, trying to press on every occasion and delay the amount of time that this Maitland side currently has to play the ball and look fairly comfortable with it as we go into the final 7 minutes of this game.
Well, that was go along with the free kick. Lundy gets ahead on it. Magpies, of course, certainly not shutting up shop. They're looking for a second. Ruish is pretty deep at the moment. Now Power. The chest pass back in. McFarlane. Almost releasing Crowley. This is Butner, who's not long come on in that right back position. Probing ball, but couldn't get anyone on the end of it. It was ambitious. All right. Once again, living dangerously, Maitland. Getting away with it, though. And then the ironic cheer as they loses footing. And another change here. It's Lundy that's trotting off. Damien Zane looking to make a change as well. So Sam Harper has come on for Maitland and Jai King for Weston, and also Ryan Enser by the look of things.
Into midfield as well by the look of it for Enza, so probably potentially a shape change for Weston as they look to try and get this game to level pegging.
That is all 5 now for Weston, so that'll be the end of their changes if we do end at the 90. Just trying to think with the 6 on the bench, that would be the 5 outfield players anyway, wouldn't it? So kind of academic about that extra sub.
Yeah, they would be able to, in the case, change the goalkeeper, however, if the game went to extra time with getting the additional substitution. And we've seen, obviously, with the World Cup situations recently that coaches are prepared to change their goalkeeper within minutes of a penalty shootout. So that option is still there to both teams if they have made all 5 of their field player changes.
Power trying to close that one down. Concedes a free kick. Buton will try and get it going quickly. The Power makes a bit of a nuisance of himself. Early. Has to launch one long and it goes all the way through to Pate. I think Maitland are just starting to sense the finish line now.
Yeah, one hand on the trophy, look comfortable. Weston trying to ask questions, but just don't have a way of breaking down this Maitland defensive line at the moment. And they have kept a substantial amount of clean sheets in recent times. They've been known for that, closing games out. 1-0, 2-0, whatever it may be. Very difficult team to score against.
There's Butner getting inside and then getting one behind. And Ruish, who's now playing in that back three or back five, depending. Just making a no-nonsense clearance. We do have the throw-in to defend now. Again, no joy for Weston. Hurley. Square to Iwasaki. And Butner taking them on. Can he get the cutback that he wants? No. He didn't quite get the contact. Iwasaki, what does he do? They go short. He's trying to prod around and find a way through. Not doing there. Butner naturally eager to get this one underway again. Iwasaki.
He's looked lively since coming on Butner, looking to get down that right flank and create an extra.
Hurley chips one into the area. Ruish gets ahead on it. Butner stopped at the near post, and the second attempt was just to snatch at it, and Pate was able to collect.
Yeah, another great first save there from Pate, and on the second one, not having to do too much to have to deal with that, but Butner starting to ask the question. He's looked lively since he's come on. Weston creating yet another opportunity. Maitland dealing with it yet again.
Only gets it going quickly. Dom Archbold, who's now switched side. Insa, who's under a bit of pressure. Hurley's under a bit of pressure. All looks very ominous in the mist. Hurley is able to play out. And it breaks well enough for Weston. Here they come again. 90 seconds to go plus stoppages. Weston still searching for that equaliser. Not going to happen this time. McFarlane able to trot it up. Butner goes with him and almost conceded the foul. They concede the throw.
Yeah, no one in much of a hurry here from Maitland to try and get this ball in, and understandably so. They've got one hand already on this State Cup final. Weston are going to have to pull off a miracle play from here to have to take this one to extra time.
Again, Iwasaki trying to hold his man off and does well enough. Just a goal kick. Pate not interested in trying to play out there. If there's one thing that Weston are doing, they're just keeping Maitland pinned a bit deeper at the moment. Obviously, Maitland's probably happier to sit back a bit deeper at this stage of the game. But they are just giving Weston a chance. They're trying to work the edge of the area, and the shot comes in from distance, but it's a little bit too direct, and Pate probably made it look a little bit more difficult than it was. are into time added now. We've had several substitutions, so we would get multiple minutes you'd expect. And a free kick conceded and a yellow card as well.
Yeah, cynical foul there from Angus Muddle, just delaying the game. Probably didn't need to make it. Maitland had plenty of numbers back. Now they're under pressure again.
This is Jai King. Hooks one wide. Hurley waiting out there. He'll try and turn wider now. Jai King once again, but this time he's dispossessed. And Maitland can try and counter-attack while Weston have got numbers forward, but it just breaks down and
Look in, go across, take it, working. Push past inside, get high,
so we've gone through the first minute of time added. Maitland are tantalisingly close now to clinching the State Cup. A Regan Lundy goal in the 9th minute is all that separates these two teams.
Seems like an eon ago since Maitland broke the scoring in this game.
Looks like Weston are going to try and leave Hurley rather, a bit higher. They might have a chance here. That's not a bad ball in behind. Been forced a little wide now. McCormick trying to make something happen. Getting inside, it's on his non-preferred foot and it just rolls through to Pate.
Just hasn't been Weston's night in that front third, has it? Plenty of flurries into that area and just lacking that killer pass, killer blow, creativity to really break Maitland down. They look like they might get one more chance at this.
Yeah, it was Enser that won it back, forced the turnover. Weston need clean delivery here. It's almost falls to Hurley and it just didn't sit for him as he took the trap. Butner gets it going quickly to Wood.
Yeah, Maitland hanging on for dear life now. All 10 players behind the ball. Tense moments here in the final stanza of this cup final.
Butner. What can he do? Iwasaki needs to get up there. That's not the halfway line. That's one of the small-sided pitch lines, by the way. In case it caught you out like it was just about to catch me out. And I reckon the flag's just about to go up. Here it is.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Western goalkeeper, Roebuck, grab this one and send it as far forward as possible.
Well, he tries to chip it ahead, but it's been cut out. And a Maitland throw. We're into the 4th minute of stoppage time now. I think there couldn't be too much more.
Yeah, they've managed this second half really well, Maitland, after taking the early lead. Weston hardly with a quality chance on goal at all. They've defended really well under pressure, maintained their concentration. They've got one hand on the State Cup final, on the trophy. Can they see it out?
Butner. Seconds ticking away for Weston. They're still searching for that goal. They've run out of time. Maitland are the champions. They will lift the Northern New South Wales Men's State Cup in 2026. They win the Coalfields Derby and they win the Cup.
Well, a very professional effort there from Maitland in the second half. I think we can call it that. Weston just not doing enough to break them down. Maitland scoring the early goal and then happy to keep the ball, frustrate Weston, and deserved to win the match. Weston just not offering enough in the closing stanza of that game. Maitland very good enough to win the game and add their first piece of silverware to the trophy cabinet for 2026 as they probably looked for a few more, I would say.
Indeed, we are at the business end of the season. So it was a Regan Lundy goal in the 9th minute, a really well-taken strike from Regan Lundy. That is all that separates these two sides. So close yet so far for the Bears. So the score at full time in the Northern New South Wales Men's State Cup final. It's Maitland FC 1, Weston 0. On behalf of myself, Daniel Herrero and Blair Newen, we thank you for joining us tonight and we bid you good night.